Despite Wipro reporting weak quarterly results, its ADR closed in green. FIIs witnessed their biggest selling day of the month, while Iran has once again warned that the Strait of Hormuz will remain closed. And along with that, 7 companies' results explained in this video. So let's decode everything in today's pre-market report. Hello everyone, welcome back to Stock Market Meridian. Today is 17th July 2026 and you're watching today's pre-market report. Let's begin our video with global markets. Starting with the US markets, all the major indices closed in negative zone, indicating a weak overnight sentiment. And in European markets, we saw a mixed performance. The DAX index ended in the red, while the FTSE 100 and Euro Stoxx index closed in green. Now looking at the Asian markets, Japan index closed nearly 2.8% lower yesterday. And today also they have opened with another 0.8% gap down. China markets also ended in the negative zone. Meanwhile, South Korea markets witnessed a sharp fall yesterday, following the central bank's interest rate policy update after nearly 3.5 years. And today the markets have opened around similar level. We will discuss about GIFT Nifty at the end of this video. Now let's move to the commodities market. US WTI crude oil is currently trading around $77 to $79 per barrel, while Brent crude oil is trading nearly $82 to $84 per barrel. In the Indian commodity market, crude oil futures closed in completely neutral zone on yesterday, while natural gas futures ended the session in 2.7% lower. Coming to the precious metals, Indian gold futures declined by nearly 1% yesterday, while international gold futures are trading slightly in negative zone. Similarly, Indian silver futures fell nearly 1% and international silver prices are trading with a negative bias. Now let's check ADR's data. Amongst the major Indian ADRs, Dr. Reddy's Labs was the only stock that closed in negative territory. On the positive side, Infosys, ICICI Bank, Wipro, HDFC Bank and Reliance Industries all ended in the higher. The biggest surprise was Wipro. Even after reporting weak quarterly earnings, its ADR still closed in green. That indicates overseas investors are maintaining a positive outlook. We will discuss about the Wipro's results in detail later in this video. Now let's move to the FIIs and DIIs data. Yesterday, FIIs turned aggressive sellers with a net selling of 4,205 crore rupees, making their largest selling session of this month. On other hand, DIIs provided support by purchasing 2,986 crore rupees. Overall, such heavy FIIs selling reflect a cautious and slightly negative market sentiment for the near term. Now let's check the important economic data. Yesterday, UK GDP data came in better than expected. US retail sales matched market expectations. The Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index surprised strongly on the upside. US jobless claims also declined compared to previous week. Overall, these numbers indicate that the US economy continues to remain resilient. Today, important events include UK CPI inflation data, India's foreign exchange reserves data, and also importantly, US President Donald Trump's scheduled press conference, which could create volatility in global markets. Tomorrow, there are no major economic events scheduled. So guys, before moving ahead, a quick reminder. I upload pre-market report every morning before market opens and also post-market report every evening after the market close. So if you want to daily updates on global markets, company results, institutional activity and important news, make sure you are subscribed to Stock Market Meridian. Now let's move to the biggest geopolitical developments. The conflict between United States and Iran has now entered its 6th consecutive day, with tensions continuing to escalate. Iran has officially declared that the Strait of Hormuz will remain completely closed until the United States accept its proposed conditions. An Iranian military spokesperson also stated about that. However, as of now, shipping activity has not completely stopped. Current vessel movement shows 18 inbound ships and 11 outbound ships, indicating that traffic is continuing with very small portion. Although the situation remains highly sensitive. So now let's move to companies' specific updates. First, Coal India has officially received the commissioning certificate for its newly operational 200 megawatt solar power project at Khavda, Gujarat. This project is part of the company's largest 300 megawatt renewable energy expansion, and the certificate has been issued by the Gujarat Energy Development Agency. This marks another important step in Coal India's renewable energy expansion strategy. Next update is Diamond Power Infrastructure has secured a 185 crore order from Adani Energy Solutions. The company will manufacture and supply over 4,800 kilometers of AL-59 aluminum alloy conductors for the Tuticorin and Pune 3 transmission projects. The contract follows a variable pricing model linked to aluminum prices and exchange rates. The entire order is expected to be completed within 8 months, providing strong revenue visibility during the current financial year. Now let's discuss about company's quarterly results. Tech Mahindra reported revenues of 15,711 crore rupees, growing both on year-on-year and quarter-on-quarter. EBITDA also increased on both year-on-year and quarter-on-quarter, while EBITDA margins improved further. Net profit came in at 1,465 crore rupees, with margins also showing healthy expansion. Overall, the results were good and broadly in line with market expectations, although investors were expecting an even stronger performance. Next, Wipro reported revenues of 24,478 crore rupees, which increased year-on-year but declined in quarter-on-quarter. EBITDA improved on year-on-year basis but declined in compared to the previous quarter. EBITDA margins also expanded on year-on-year but weakened in quarter-on-quarter. Net profit stood at 3,356 crore rupees, remaining almost flat on year-on-year while declining in quarter-on-quarter. Net profit margins also weakened both on year-on-year and quarter-on-quarter. Overall, Wipro delivered one of the weakest results amongst the major IT companies in this earnings season, with noticeable pressure on both margins and profitability. Next, Jio Financial Services reported total income of 2,004 crore rupees, with strong growth on both year-on-year and quarter-on-quarter. PPOP, pre-provisioning operating profit, increased to 505 crore rupees, supported by improving operating margins. Net profit stood at 830 crore rupees, also showing healthy growth on both yearly and quarterly basis. Overall, the company continued to deliver impressive growth, driven by expansion in lending, digital payment, and investment in its asset management and insurance joint venture with BlackRock and Allianz. Next, Piramal Finance reported revenues of 3,368 crore rupees, showing strong year-on-year growth with a slight quarter-on-quarter decline. EBITDA stood at 2,133 crores, recording significant yearly growth. Net profit came in at 460 crore rupees, showing excellent year-on-year growth but a moderate quarter-on-quarter decline. Overall, the yearly performance remains strong, although quarterly movement appears slightly weaker. Next, CEAT reported revenues of 4,318 crore rupees, improving on year-on-year but declining on quarter-on-quarter. EBITDA declined both year-on-year and quarter-on-quarter, leading to weaker operating margins. Net profit dropped sharply to just 4 crore rupees, with significant pressure on profitability. Net profit margins also declined as compared to previous quarter and also previous year. Overall, except for revenue growth on yearly basis, almost every financial parameter remained weak. Next, Borosil Renewables reported revenues of 405 crore rupees, increasing year-on-year but declining on quarter-on-quarter. EBITDA improved strongly year-on-year, although it softened sequentially in quarter-on-quarter. Despite better EBITDA margins, net profit declined both year-on-year and quarter-on-quarter. Overall, margins performed remained encouraging, but the bottom line numbers were disappointing. Next, Heritage Foods reported revenues of 1,338 crore rupees, recording strong growth on both year-on-year and quarter-on-quarter. However, EBITDA declined on year-on-year basis, despite improving sequentially on quarter-on-quarter. Net profit came in at 24 crore rupees, witnessing a sharp year-on-year decline with only a slight quarter-on-quarter improvement. Overall, the company delivered another weak quarter due to pressure on profitability. Now on your screen, you can see the list of companies that will announce their quarterly results today, mainly Reliance Industries. These stocks are likely to remain in focus during today's trading session. So that's all for today's pre-market report. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Stock Market Meridian. I will see you again in this evening with today's post-market report. Until then, thanks for watching. Signing off. Bye bye. Jai Hind.